Hi guys, Piotr here. This is LiteFinance Global YouTube channel, and as usual, it's my pleasure to be with you again. What we are going to discuss today? Well, a few days ago we were discussing scalping for the beginners. Now, today, first part, when it comes to the scalping for the advanced traders, you may ask yourself, well, all right, why should I listen to this guy? Well, me, like 20 years plus on the market. It's not that easy to scalp the market, and if you ever tried, then you know. If someone is telling you it's so easy to scalp the market, you should be very, very careful. It's time consuming. Well, it might not be suitable for everyone. So that's the most important thing, that you have to answer yourself. You have to answer yourself when it comes to the scalping trading, if it's really for you, right? Well, why it's for advanced traders? Because the things I'm going to discuss today, well, you have to be on the market for quite some time to understand. I've been preparing few videos about different price action strategies, so I strongly encourage you to go through the LiteFinance YouTube channel and find the one about the swing trading, find a few about the price action, because that's something I'm using when it comes to the 1 minute chart as well. It's the same, the things are much faster, that's the only difference, right? So that's the important thing. Well, when I'm using the scalping strategy, I'm using few of them. We are going to discuss the first one. I'm going to mention a few more when we are going to switch to the 1 minute chart, but overall we are going to discuss the one where the bigger picture is really important. Well, I would say when you are scalping each and every strategy, the bigger picture is also very, very important. In that case, what you have to make the note of is that I don't want my stop to be bigger than 10 pips, right? I like the stops like 4, 6, 8 pips, but below 10, and I'm targeting 3R. Of course, different market conditions and stuff like this. So I strongly encourage you to watch this video and to get the basic, and then maybe using your own tools you've got in your trading arsenal, maybe trying to build your own strategy based on the basic stuff from myself. If you like the whole one, then feel free to adopt. But before you are going to risk real money, do your own homework, do your own research, and make plenty of tests. So when I'm talking about the bigger picture, want to know where we are from the daily chart perspective, for example, right? In that case, as you can see, that's the euro dollar. We are in a strong downtrend move. Then what I'm looking for very important levels when it comes to the daily chart. So that's I know, even if I'm going to try to trade in the direction when it comes to the overall trend, but I'm approaching for example, demand from that higher time frame, I may want to avoid the scalping into that direction. Rather, I would like to use the bounces, the rallies, the dead cat bounces to try to trade in the overall market direction. So in that case, I already placed 2 lines, and just to be perfectly clear, as you can see, well, the best thing is if the line has more than 2. Great if has 3 rejections, for example, right? In that case, this supply line here exactly fulfill that condition. All right, and we are talking about the levels close to 10.44 on the euro dollar. Of course, on the other hand, I have the support line around or demand line around 108.70, and it's based on the maybe let's make it different. On the historical price action is this half of this mid consolidation half. Sorry, guys. What? Okay, just 1 second. I messed up the things for a while. It's based on this old consolidation, and especially on the mid from where we started to move higher. So that's exactly how I'm working when I'm trying to build the bigger picture, right? Horizontal lines the best, of course. The trend lines, falling, rising, included as well. That's why today I'm talking for the rather advanced traders, because you are going to understand what I'm talking about. Once I've got the bigger picture, right, then I'm switching lower. I'm switching to the, for example, 4-hour chart, all right, and well, I'm trying to check where we are, right? So as you can see, in that case, we have 2 additional, this time yellow lines, meaning that they are from the lower time frame. And as you can see here, we've seen a few attempts to hold or break to the upside, to the downside. So that's why it's a little bit higher than the daily line. And we have also the possible intraday demand zone. So that's, if I'm going to look for the short setup, that's going to be my target, initial target. But of course, I'm going to try to work out based on the price action on the lower time frame. Very similar situation got the place on the 15-minute chart and 1-hour chart, right? Now, what the lines, this red and orange lines mean. The orange is the opening of the day, right? And the orange is opening of the European session. Now, it's very important for me, for myself. I like to failure, and that's where you have to make the note. I like the failure into the opposite direction of the overall market direction, right? So meaning that I want to see some kind of the consolidation during the Tokyo session, and then around the European or pre-European Open, I would like to see the counter move and rejection. And that's exactly what has happened today, all right? And it's gonna be very well visible on that 1-minute chart. So finally, let's switch lower to the 1-minute chart. And whoops, okay, that's not good. It was 44 if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it was somewhere here. But anyway, so as you can see, here we have, as I mentioned, to the left, daily open, right, line, the place where the day been open, then the whole Tokyo session. And as you can see, it was quite narrow range, and especially getting closer to the Tokyo fixing and pre-Europe Open, the range was even narrower, right? Then before the European Open, right, we made the attempt to look for the liquidity. So there was a stop hunt, attempt to stop hunt against the overall market direction. And with the European Open, we've seen strong move to the downside. Let's get back for a second into the hourly chart, because that's gonna be also quite useful for yourself. We've seen quite nice engulf here. All right, so that would be on the 15-minute chart as well. Then what next? Let's get back to the 1-minute chart. and what I'm looking for. So I've got my Tokyo range. I'm going to leave it the bigger the candles, right, for you to understand. All right, so that was this pre-Europe open, then it was the move to the downside. All right, and then based on what we discussed, all right, oops, sorry, based on, oh jeez, sorry, based on what we discussed, it was this narrow range from the late Tokyo session when we see the counter move, strong waterfall to the downside. I'm not interested in catching or joining this move. What I'm gonna be very, very interesting after this move to the downside, to check the bottom and the midline of this consolidation. All right, closer to the daily supply, we were at the bottom. All right, we were at the bottom. So that's where I'm going to wait with. Now you have to decide. That's why I've mentioned do your own research, do your own homework, because me personally, I'm waiting with the limit order to sell, and you may wanna wait with the market order if you are going to see some kind of the price action. And as I mentioned, I like to see what I'm working with on a higher time frames, right? In that case, it was this particular retest, rejection, and now I'm going to make it bigger to clearly explain. If you know my video in regards to the swing trading, then you know that I didn't chase the market. I've been waiting exactly here, and it was almost to the point. And well, when you are trying to scalp the market, when you are trying to have a very tight stop loss, right? In that case, it was around 9 pips, right? 8 pips plus 1. Then you have to wait for the market to come back to you. You don't need to chase the market. You shouldn't chase the market, because that's the most common mistake. All right, so that's how the things went after. It was strong move to the downside. So it was like 9 pips stop, and the target was around 80, right? So you've got like 10R. There was plenty of possibilities to join the market after all. So for example, if you were looking what we were discussing a second ago, there was a very similar situation, right? When it comes to the trying to join the market, another consolidation, fake to the upside, strong move to the downside, and you are trying to join the party in the mid, and that was another move to the downside, right? Another attempt to consolidate the market, fake to the upside, move to the downside, another half of the consolidation, etc., etc. But that's the things we are going to discuss in the next part. Guys, go through this video quite a few times, try to understand what I've been talking about. Be very, very patient. Sometimes it's better not to trade, right? Don't try to chase the market. Do your own research, do your own homework. Wish you great next trading session. With that being said, take care, goodbye, and see you around.